Chapter 1. In a quiet pond lived Toby the turtle, a small turtle with a big mind. Toby always thought about too many things at once. He worried about swimming faster, looking cooler, and even about how the fish looked at him. His mind was always full, like a backpack stuffed with heavy rocks. One day, Toby tried to race the frogs, but tripped over a log because he wasn't paying attention. The frogs laughed. Toby felt sad. "Why can't I do anything right?" he whispered. That night, he sat under the moon and wished for a way to calm his busy head. He didn't know that his wish was about to come true. The next morning, Toby met Grandpa Crane, a wise old bird who lived near the pond. Grandpa Crane always looked calm, even when storms came. Toby asked, "How do you stay so peaceful?" "My mind is always noisy," the old crane smiled. "Your mind is like water, little turtle. When it is full of mud, you cannot see. But if you let the mud settle, the water becomes clear." Toby tilted his head, confused. Grandpa Crane added, "You must empty your mind to see the truth." Toby didn't understand fully, but he felt something powerful in those words. "Empty my mind?" he repeated slowly. The crane nodded. "Yes, only then will you find your strength." Grandpa Crane told Toby to sit quietly by the pond. "Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Let your thoughts float away, like leaves on the water." Toby tried, but his thoughts kept running back. "What if I lose a race? What if others laugh again?" he said. Grandpa Crane shook his head. "You are holding rocks in your mind. Drop them." Toby sighed. "But how do I drop them?" The crane touched the water with his wing. "See how the ripples fade when you wait. Your mind is the same. Just wait. Be still." Toby tried again, and for the first time, he felt a tiny moment of peace. His shell didn't feel so heavy anymore. Toby practiced sitting still every morning. At first, he found it hard, but slowly, he learned to clear his thoughts. He noticed the pond was more beautiful than he had ever seen. The birds sang sweeter, the water shined brighter, and the breeze felt softer. "I never noticed this before," he said in surprise. Grandpa Crane chuckled. "That's because your mind was too full. Now you see the world as it truly is." Toby smiled. He felt calmer, lighter. Soon, even when the frogs teased him, he did not feel upset. Instead, he just kept practicing. The crane told him, "This is only the beginning. A clear mind can do wonders, my little turtle." One day, the frogs returned to the pond. "Hey, turtle, let's race again," they shouted. Toby's heart jumped. Last time, he failed and felt embarrassed. His old thoughts tried to rush back. "What if I lose again?" But then, he remembered Grandpa Crane's lesson. He closed his eyes, breathed deeply, and let the fear float away like leaves. "Okay," he said calmly. "Let's race." The frogs laughed, thinking they would win easily. Animals gathered to watch. Toby stood at the starting line, his shell shining under the sun. He whispered to himself, "Empty your mind and focus only on this moment." The race began, and Toby felt different this time. Frogs hopped quickly, but Toby didn't rush. His steps were slow, steady, and peaceful. He didn't think about winning or losing. He only thought about moving one step at a time. One step, one breath, he whispered. The frogs looked back and laughed. Too slow, turtle. But suddenly, they tripped over rocks and slipped into the water. The crowd gasped. Toby kept moving forward calmly, not worrying about the noise around him. His steady rhythm carried him across the field. He didn't stumble. He didn't panic. He just flowed like the quiet pond. The animals began cheering for him. Toby, the once clumsy turtle, was moving with grace and power. Finish line was close. Only one frog had gotten back up, hopping as fast as he could. "I'll beat you, turtle," the frog shouted. Toby felt pressure again, but then he remembered the crane's words. "Your mind is like water." He emptied his mind of fear. Suddenly, the world slowed down. He could see each hop of the frog, each ripple of the pond, each breath in his chest. Toby focused only on his next step. With one last push, he crossed the finish line just before the frog. The crowd roared. The frogs stared in shock. Toby had won. For the first time, he felt proud, calmly proud. After the race, the animals cheered. "Toby, how did you do it?" they asked. Toby smiled. "I emptied my mind. I let go of fear and worry. When the mind is clear, the path is clear." The frogs were embarrassed but curious. "Can you teach us?" they asked softly. Toby remembered how Grandpa Crane had guided him. "Of course," he said. "Sit by the water, breathe, and let your thoughts drift away." The frogs tried it. Though they giggled at first, slowly, even they began to feel calmer. The whole pond grew more peaceful. Grandpa Crane watched with a smile. "Good," he whispered. "The turtle has become the teacher." And Toby now lived differently. He no longer feared failure or teasing. When he felt worry coming, he closed his eyes and emptied his mind. Soon, even the frogs stopped teasing him. They respected him instead. Toby noticed he could swim better, run steadier, and think clearer. "My mind feels like fresh water," he said happily. The animals gathered often to learn from him. He told them, "Empty your mind, and you will find your true strength." Even the smallest fish began practicing, and the pond was filled with calm and kindness. Toby had changed not only himself, but also his world. One evening, Toby looked at his reflection in the pond. His shell shined brighter than ever before, not because it was polished, but because his heart was at peace. Grandpa Crane landed beside him. "You have learned well, little turtle. Remember, wisdom is not in having many thoughts, but in knowing which ones to let go." Toby nodded. "Thank you, Grandpa Crane. I will never forget," as the stars sparkled above. Toby whispered, "When we empty our mind, we make room for light." From that day, whenever anyone in the pond felt lost, they looked to Toby, and he always reminded them with a smile, "Empty your mind, and you will shine."